Okay, there we go. Can't do the intro. I can't do the intro. Oh, good. Let's just cut there. Shh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids, villagers, welcome back to the show with your host and us, Mr. M, and welcome back to the Sewing Lab. My favorite series as of right now. Hello, Maddie. My favorite series as of right now that you all quite love. It's actually one of my popular series right now. Thanks to that character right there, the lovely and wonderful Miss Delight. And Maddie's up my keister. Yeah. And so I did a poll on the community, and I asked, with Miss Delight doing quite grand in the views, what character should I make next to add to the Poppy collection? A lot of you said to do Boxy Boo, which I picked and nominated as to be the next project. I got this lovely red fur, and in ordering some unique parts to use for his creation. They won't be here for a good week or two. So, to fill in the void and to fill in for you guys, because do not worry, Boxy Boo will be made. To fill in that, I thought I would take my swing at something cool. So, in this episode, we're going to be recreating one of my favorite creations of the Poppy gang. My very first character was Huggy Wuggy. Huggy Wuggy was my very first and was my favorite. And I got spit on the lens. There we go. I made Huggy Wuggy and was very excited for what to come. And so with that in mind, I came up with this. I had this giant piece of blue fabric laying around that I got from the same location I got that big red piece. And a friend of mine was just like, what are you going to do with that big blue sheet? And I was just like, I don't know. And then when the idea for Boxy Boo came up, I noticed that Mob Entertainment, the people who made Poppy's Playtime, on their website of their shop that they sell the plushes on, they have a jumbo size Huggy Wuggy. But it's like $40. I could technically buy one, but do I want to? No. So I thought, well, I have thread, I have stuffing, I have some fabric. Let's just make a giant ass Huggy Wuggy. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a very large Huggy Wuggy, because I don't think I actually made a video for Huggy Wuggy. I made one for Bunzo, I made one for Mama, and I made one for Miss Delight. I didn't make one for Poppy, nor Pugapillar, or Kissy Missy. Oh, well, also, I forgot, and Catnap. Poppy and Pugapillar were purchased, they're like bootlegs, because I don't think I can quite do Poppy. I might give Poppy a swing one day, and maybe PJ, but just to do filler, I just bought them. And I actually made two Mama Longlegs. And so, going back to my old school roots, we're going back into the field of large, and we're going to make a large Huggy Wuggy. Because I have so much of this blue fabric, I've been wanting to do a large Huggy Wuggy, and that's what we're going to do. And so in this episode, that's what we're going to do. So with what I have, I sketched out a very large pattern piece for Huggy, and I cut this out. This was going to be his head, but I'm like, I have enough, I can do bigger. And so that's what we're going to do. I have a lot, so we might make him bigger, in all honesty. I don't know. So with looking at this, I'm going to probably make it bigger. But after I get the head cut out, I'm going to show you the work on the arms. And so on and so on. So, hope you guys enjoy. And I will see you in the next clip for the large Huggy Wuggy. See you in the next clip. Alrighty. This is part 2 of working on Huggy. And I just realized I'm going to just say welcome back every time I hit the camera, because I'm so used to turning it on and saying hello. But it's been a couple days since I worked on this project. We are working on a very large Huggy Wuggy. And, not going to lie, this might be fun or cool, whichever one. Because, look at this. He looks pretty cool. Which I've just noticed a little difference is Huggy does not have this shaped head. I got a little OCD when combing him, so that's why his fur is just perfectly like smoothed up there. Hold on, let me just, there we go. Looks like a fireball. Beautiful. But working on this, I got this photo. I actually went to the Mob website, Mob Entertainment, on their website store that they're selling the characters on, and I actually, if let me just show this. I don't want to show pictures. There we go. I have, if I can zoom in, pictures of the newest member they added to their store is the cat, the monster version of Catnap, and I'm quite excited. I'm going to be working on it. Actually, they're plush. You know what? Just pop it up here. Oh, can I just hold on? Okay, yeah. Okay, so here's the plush. I think it looks pretty dang cool, if I'm being honest. It looks great. Let me zoom in so I don't there we go. I think it looks okay. I'll say okay. A little digital. There we go. It's not quite grand as I thought it would be, but in all honesty, you guys, I think I can recreate this sucker in my own image. The body's just the struggle point, because the head I can do, the legs and arms I can do, and the feet I can do, and the tail. It's the freaking middle part that's a little bit of a crotch. Oh, there's Yoda and his minifan. Oops, Daisy. I forgot. There we go. That's the struggle. Other than that, I think I got this in the bag. So, stay tuned for this. Don't not worry. This is going to be coming right after Boxy Boo. So, don't you worry. Stay tuned. But other than that, back to Huggy. There we go. Working on Huggy. So, right now we got his head. His head's actually, funny enough, a little flatter. It's a triangle shape if I look at it more. And so with this, I think it's still gonna turn out good. Again, this is just to fill in the void of waiting. I'm waiting for a part to come for Boxy Boo before I can start him, because if I just start on him and wait for the part, then his parts are just gonna get scattered all over my table, and then I won't want. It'll just be confusing, and yeah, I'll just get confused on what part is what. So I kind of want to do it in one fell swoop in a week. So yeah. So with this, I'm going to be working on his torso next. His arms I'm leaving not for last, because his hands and feet are probably going to be last. In all honesty, I could work on his face. In all honesty, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. So I'm going to work on the torso next. So I will see you in that clip. Stay tuned. Welcome back to working on the giant version of Huggy Wuggy. Sorry if I sound out of it. I am very tired, and I don't know why. So if I yawn, screw it. In this clip, I'm showing you the torso part right here. I just cut this out of the fabric. Now, bear with me now. His arms may not be quite big, but it's fine. Ish, because I have just enough in this roll to do his arms, and I mean just. Like, we're gonna be very close. Oh, and there's some. I have the torso right now. It is this kind of shape, kind of like a pear. No, more of a somewhat odd. It's like the shape of a bomb. It is not. It's fabric. You know, that's a terrible analogy. The torso's right here, so I cut it out of the sheet. There was just enough for the arms, so I think we should be fine for the body and most part. Thank God he didn't have a tail or anything, or we would have been absolutely 18 double hockey stick screwed. And so here's the head for comparison. I think it will be pretty okay for what I'm doing. So just stay tuned. I think we're gonna have an okay video, in all honesty, or okay plushie at the end of the day. Because if you think about it, I think it'll be okay. And also, I have enough stuffing to get it done. So cool beans. So I'm gonna get this stitched up and stuffed, and stitch it to this, and I will catch you in that clip when I'm now working on the 4 arms. Technically 2 arms, 2 legs. You know what I mean. I'll see you in the next clip. Alrighty, and voila! A very large looking Mr. Huggy. head and torso. So, a little tricky, I will say, attaching head to torso. Why? Because this blue thread is new old stock I got from a thrift store, and all my blue thread was getting caught in the fur, and so I was having struggle bus trying to stitch it together. And then I remembered, fishing line, which toy manufacturers do use fishing lines sometimes. So thank you, God, to the fishing line, because it saved the day. He's a little lopsided, but it's okay. I think it'll be okay. He's kind of bent to one corner because I didn't stuff him fully full of stuffing in his torso. I wanted him to be a tad bit on the floppy side to be as close as to the marketing Plush. Yeah, like that one. Focus. Come on. Yeah, focus. To the game Plush, because I wanted to make a very large one. And so he's going to be big, and I think it's going to be a good plush, in all honesty. So, with that in mind, I think it's going to turn out great. So, in the morning, I'm going to try to evenly cut that piece of fabric into arms. I will catch you in the next clip when I'm working on the arms. See you then. Okay, it is the next day of the last clip when I made the torso and the body. He's sitting over there. And in the corner, I had the last roll of my blue fur fabric. And I did what I said, and I tried my damn hardest to evenly divide the arms and the legs into somewhat even pieces. And funny enough, by accident, I did. They're basically in the same, kind of in the same ballpark. They're all the same length because that sheet was the same length, evenly cut. But the strips are just a tad, like an inch or two off by maybe a centimeter off, because that sleeve's a bit thicker, this one's a bit thinner. It's okay. Won't be too noticeable, you'll be fine. So, right now, what I'm doing before I take a break, because I've been doing this all morning, I cut into bits. I had to use, like, this thing came very, very handy. It came with this, my cutting board. I used it to evenly just, like, measure out and draw lines on the fabric to evenly make it somewhat evenly, because when drawing a line for me, I kind of go off kilter. As you can see with my finger, I just completely went off the fabric, and I'm not good with drawing a straight line sometimes, so I had to do that for a little bit. I was a little bit too thick with two of the arms or legs, and so I had to go back and make them a little thinner, so there was a little bit of evenness. But I think, in general, I think these will be fine. They should be fine. And then, other than that, I think we're in the clear. So, I'm very actually happy. A little side note. I will tell a backstory on this big piece of blue fabric. I had a friend who went on a trip to Texas, and he abandoned an old warehouse that was abandoned. An abandoned warehouse that he lives right next to. Not next to, but it's a little bit in the forest. It was a fabric factory, and in the factory, I don't have photos. I wish I did. It was a long time ago. And he went into the forest. Him and a buddy. They told me they were going, and they know I sew, so it was like, hey, if we find something, I'll take a photo, send it to you, and if you want some fabric, I can grab whatever is usable. I'm like, go for it. And so, in this factory he went, a lot of it was destroyed, a lot of it was used for any wild creature that was out there, took fabric and just was willy-nilly. So the place was abandoned, falling apart, like holes in the roof. It was a very large building. And so he went, I think it was upstairs. I told him not to because it looked unsafe. He went upstairs, and in one of the rooms, there was some stored fabric that looked like it, that maybe back in the day was going to be shipped out. They're in boxes, and so he cracked one open, and perfectly sealed, not touched by the elements yet, was this big sheet of blue and that big sheet of red. And there were others, but he only had so much room to get out safely, because I think there was like a fence and stuff he went through. So he was just like, okay, out of all these colors, which one do you want? He called me, and I don't know how he had signal. He's like, okay, there's this. And he's like, which out of these would you want? I saw the blue, and I saw the red, and I'm like, I'll take the blue and the red one. And so I rolled it up, shoved it in his backpack. And about maybe half a month later, I got these fabrics. And so, a little story time on that. So technically, this Huggy will be, he came from a factory. And soon, Boxy Boo will be too. So, there's a little fun story for you. So, it's quite unique that... I'm very happy, because when I heard about this abandoned fabric, anytime I get fabric from my work, I try to save as much as I can to reuse it, so it got used. I hate waste. I hate anything that could be used, be waste. So, very happy I could save this fabric from being utterly destroyed by the laws of nature. So... yeah, so I'm going to, right now I'm pinning them together so I can evenly stitch it, and I'm actually going to be using fishing line again for this plush, because it's actually easier to sew with than the fabric thread. Why? I'm going to be honest. It doesn't get caught on itself. It might get a little tangled, but it doesn't get caught on itself, because it's like softer. That's just plastic and it's slick. Here, let me do this. There we go. It'll be better. Alright, welcome back to working on the bots. It is currently Sunday afternoon. It is almost 7 o'clock p.m. And I'm right now working on Huggy. Here he is laying on the table. And I'm right now in a power outage right now. It is storming outside. It doesn't look like it. It literally just blew through. And I have no power right now. And so, I wanted to get this clip before I continued, because I like always, as I'm making a video, I kind of forget that I am, and I continue working on something. And so, I gotta stop doing that for this step of recording. And so, if you can see him, there are his arms and legs. Do I have another one over here? No, okay, I'll just grab one. Okay, there we go. Here's one. Oh no, I need to fix it. It's weird. There we go. Okay, sorry. I have a head. It is hard to control what I'm working on. So I have this arm. It's very long, so I think it looks pretty good on his body. Very long legs. Very nice, very nice. And so, we got that. Inside these arms, there we go. Inside these arms are foam. 2 layers of foam. I didn't want to do stuffing because I feel like it was going to be very heavy, and then he would have been not quite posable. And so I just went with the foam because I had a bit of excess foam left over from making if you guys remember, I had a series called Working on the Bots, and there was a bit of foam left from making Rags' endoskeleton head cover, and so I stuffed his arms full of them. His head and body is just stuffing. It's just normal stuffing, so we're gonna throw it over there. And so he's not quite stuffed, so there's that. And so basically, right now I'm working on this in the dark because I probably will just do this for tonight. I'd like to get him completely done. I think I can. Problem is the power's out. It might come back on. I think it will. If not, that's the plan for tonight at least. So here's his hand, feet, and all that. And so we're just gonna see what happens. Maybe the power will come on. Maybe it won't. We'll find out shortly. So I will see you next clip, where I should hopefully be, I should have the hands and arms done, and I'll probably work on his face after that, because I'll then stitch the arms on, then he'll be complete. So I'll see you in the next clip. Alrighty, it is a couple days after the last clip. I got a little bit busy with life and couldn't quite work on Huggy that I wanted to. And so here he is. Well, I should probably back that up. Here's his arms. So I made his feet and his hands. The feet are a bit, yes. Anytime I turn on the camera, you have to be the star. Tell the world what you want. Really? Really? It's like, oh no, I'm on camera. You find my bullshit. There it is. Meow. Okay, camera's acting weird, so I'm gonna hurry up and get this clip before it dies. Anyway, here's his hand and his arm. So I have both those done. His hand over there. One problem I had with this one, and I burnt the hell out of my hand with hot glue. I didn't want to stitch his arm and his hand together. I felt like it was just going to be just an asinine, like, way to get his hand in. So I just thought, oh, it's easy. The hole's big enough for the hand to slide in, and so I'll glue it. Works great for that one, but this one was crock. You can't tell, because the fur is covered up, but that was shit. My hand, like, and it sucked because it got underneath my nail. My hands are burnt. I have work tomorrow. And so I thought I'd show this quick little process of it. So there are two ways to making Huggy's feet. I could just do it like this and have them straight out like I do for Kissy Missy and Huggy up there. But I kind of want to do it another way. And so, get out! Sorry about that. Maddie was on a shelf, and I didn't want her to be up there. Back to this. Huggy has two forms. He either has his feet sticking from his like his legs like this, or it's like this. I'm doing it like of that way, not just laying, because I think it would be better for the plush. I don't mind doing it the other way. That's how I did it for that Huggy. But I think it would be better for the plush if I did it that way. And so I'm going to get that stitched on, and then by tomorrow, I have a lot of time tomorrow after my haircut, and I'm just going to do that. So Huggy should be done tomorrow, and the next clip should be the last clip, because his facial expression shouldn't take too long. But who knows? It's me we're talking about, so we'll find out in the next clip. So I'll see you in the next clip, which should hopefully be, actually no, it might be the second clip, because I'll show stitching his arms on and working on his facial expression. But then also, sneak peek, guess what character I'm making with these red cords? Stay tuned. Okay, it's a couple days and maybe a week since I recorded the last clip. I'm going to hurry up and record it, because you guys know when I'm recording I then get tired and yawn. So, here we have the very large Huggy Wuggy plushie. And his body looks incredible. He looks great on the couch. Well, actually, originally he was sitting over on the couch. Well, I moved him over here because I'm about to work on his face. Because then we'll wrap this sucker up and finally be done with this giant freaking man. And so I've come to the conclusion I'm just going to do, this is his face, but I'm going to be doing the creepy face that everyone knows and loves about Huggy. So I'm going to take normal eyes, make just the round little stuffed eyes, make the lips, and put bendable wire so I can bend his lips easily, and then put teeth, and we should be then all done. So I'm going to get to working on his face and his eyes, and I'll cut to that, and then we should be on the last clip. So I'll see you then. Pretty teeth! Last time I left off, I showed off good old Huggy, just sitting over here, minding his own biz, and I then said I was going to work on his mouth. And so that's what I did, and wha-bam! Look at that sucker. That is beautiful. Absolutely perfect. And I will say it's a teensy bit, it's a teensy bit big on his head, but it's fine. It's manageable. On how I'm going to attach it is I'm going to stitch it on. I was going to glue it, but gluing is out of the picture because I do not think it would look good. And so we're just going to stitch this mouth onto his face. And so, yeah. With that in mind, basically, I'll tell you what I did. So, if you guys don't know, the one Mama Longlegs has wires in her arms that can bend. So I can pose her in any certain way. And this is the wire I use. It's this very thin, bendable metal wire that companies use for a lot of toys. And so I made a giant long red fabric tube, and I stuffed it and slid a piece of metal in it, and I bent it into his unique smile. And after that, I took a day to cut out some teeth, and I glued some teeth in, and like, that's so perfect. It looks like something on one of the like Hot Topic or like Spirit Halloween Huggy Wuggy like stuffed mask. It looks great. And right now I'm working on the eyes, and after I get these two done, we'll be attaching it. So I'll cut to when that is up and run. Alrighty, it's been a couple days since I picked up the camera because work has been kicking my rear. And so have you. Oh my. There you go, Kiki. There you go, Kiki. And so we have run into a problem, and I've never actually experienced this on the series, of I think almost 100, maybe less videos of the sewing lab. I have never ran into this where I think I have, or maybe this is the only one I can remember, where I've accidentally made something perfect but too big. So let me explain what has happened here so far. I don't know, there's crap in it. There you go. Okay, so here's Huggy's beautiful, beautiful smile that I've created. It is perfect. The teeth, like, it's perfectly centered. Everything's just perfect. A-okay. Just wonderful. Shush thine mouth hole. Thank you. And so, it's beautiful. But the problem is, it's too big. Huggy's face his head is a tad bit smaller than I predicted, and hold on, let me get that hat off him. Huggy's head is just a tad bit too small, and even though this would probably fit, it wouldn't do justice because the bottom of his lip would be poking his neck, and so he wouldn't be able to like bend his head down and be himself, and so I've accidentally made this too big. And it sucks because it's so perfect, and I really hate it. And the problem is now this is going to be a part of the shop, a part of my office, because I love how this turned out so much. I don't want to destroy it because it has important parts I could reuse. I could reuse the stuffing inside. I could reuse the metal wire inside. The problem is I don't want to take this apart. I really don't. And so I think in the future, if I do recreate a very bigger, fatter, larger version of the Hugger, I will maybe just reuse this face. But for now, it's just in the scrap pile. And it sucks because I made some beautiful eyes. Hold on, let me just perfectly... There you go. Like, those are perfect eyes for Huggy. I might use the eyes. If not, I'll have to do it again. And the process of making the eyes sucks. I believe... Well, actually, the clip before this, I was showing the eyes and the process and everything. Problem is, I then got a phone call and had to end the clip real quick. So, I'll just take one of his eyeballs and show you. So, this is like almost round, and that's very unique. Because this originally was a flat circle. That's what this was. It's a flat circle where you intertwine in and out in the center of the circle and then pull it in to be like a sack. But now it kind of looks like an onion. And you do that a bunch of times and you pull as hard as you can. Well, not too hard because then the thread will snap because it sucks like that. And you just tie it off. You might have a little bit of a hole, but you could just cover it with glue or something. And you get a perfect eyeball. Or a perfect round, whatever you want it to be. For today, it's an eyeball. And so I had the crappy process of first cleaning off the camera because I spit on it. Of remaking his mouth, and we're going to try and do it better this time because we want it smaller, and also I want Huggy done and out of the office because he's too big and he's been clogging up this little corner here, and I've been wanting it clean. And so we're going to get him done, hopefully, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see, but he will be done this weekend so I can get this video out for you guys. So stay tuned, and in the next clip I should have his mouth done and maybe reuse his eyeballs, or I don't know. If not, and I have to remake his eyes, you don't have to see it. I'll just cut to when Huggy's done. So I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, so I'm back. It's been a couple hours since the last clip. I showed off this mouth and whipped up this little, I bent it as I flung it. Hold on a second. I whipped up this lovely little mouth, and it looks pretty good. It's not identical to Huggy's beautiful smile, but with reducing the amount of like lippage, I can't quite bend and get those perfect tight lips in the corner. If I do that, like I'm getting not quite good. Like I'll tighten it a little bit more, but not. There we go. Like I can't quite do that. And so there we go. It's not the best, but it will do for this miniature Huggy. So there we go. I think it looks pretty good. It's not. I did something that I didn't do with the last one. So on the back, that's why there's black. I should use kind of a skin color-esque mouth background. I just use black because I'm basic. So anytime you do a mouth, like if we could zoom in on me, if I can, yeah. You see my mouth? My teeth are showing in my tongue, and there's just a black background. So is Uncle Klunk. So is Mama. Bunzo, that's basically what I wanted to go for the mouth, but I just went just to keep it like is. What I did is I glued the teeth on the back of the lips, like you can see. That's the back of the teeth, and I glued a better outline. So when you see it, you can barely see it. You have to bend it up just to see, like barely bend, and you can barely see it. So it's great. So we can do that. And so the eyes don't actually look too. Here, let me actually. The eyes actually look kind of perfect to this mouth, and it kind of saves me from making another pair. So we'll have a perfect face for a Huggy, and I'm about to start. Oh, I'm gonna try to attach them and see how they go. And if all fails, I'll glue them on. So I'll see you in the next clip. See you then. And there you have it, my very large and in charge Huggy Wuggy Plush. Man, he took a while. Now, in the last cut, I did say that his eyes were perfect size for the stuffed man himself, but I was wrong, like always. And his eyes were just a tad bit too big and just didn't want to fit perfectly where I put him. And so, of course, like always, had to restart, but I didn't restart too much on his eyes. I took his original eyes, unstitched them, made them flat, cut around the original circle to make them a smaller circle, and then I stitched around it and tightened it like a sack and kind of molded, kind of like squeezed the eyes to make them better shaped. And then the original eye, the black, whatever, my brain's fried. The black and white parts, I couldn't use the original ones. They were too stretched and warped from the original ones, so I just remade them. And I also somehow forgot he has a little bow, and so with the remaining fabric of that color I had, made a quick bow. Don't have any ribbon or would use that, so we just went with that, and he done very good. I'm gonna step back. He will now forever and always sit on my couch. I say this was a pretty good start and finish to this grand adventure to make Huggy. Now, for example of how big he is, I grabbed Poppy. This is just a, I don't know, I don't want to say a crappy bootleg that I bought off Amazon, but I don't know, it was just a Poppy needed for the collection, and so I just grabbed a Poppy. I might make her in the future with actual hair. I don't know, let me know if I should. If this video can get to at least, hell, I'd say the Missed the Light video got 1.1k views, then I'll say if this video can get over 200 views, I will make a mini Poppy to go along with the rest of the things I've made, since they're all tried to be average size. And so we'll put you right next to him. This kind of works for this because like it's a perfect size for Poppy. And so, you know what I say, he turned out pretty good. I got mostly what he needed. He got his creepy smile, his eyes. The one eye kind of is slanted, but I think it kind of gives him the goofy look. His bow, his long arms, and his white. Sorry, I looked at the skeleton, he's white. And his yellow hands and feet. So what now, at the end of these videos, I'm going to say, is it accurate to the actual thing? I'm going to start doing that at the end of these videos. And I'm going to say yes, to a degree. He's not tall enough to be represented. If Huggy was as tall as me, I'm 6'4", Huggy would probably be around 7 feet tall, maybe even 7 something. And so, yeah, I'd say he was pretty good. His head's crooked because I didn't stitch it on quite right. And also, a little forewarning, I stitched his body, his arms, and his head with fishing line, because every time I stitch with normal thread, the fur would get caught in the thread, and so I couldn't stitch it right. But then I should have just used normal thread to stitch or attach the limbs together, because midway as I was working on Huggy, his head started to come unattached from his body, and so did one of his arms. And so I had to redo that, but now he's firmly together. I don't think he's coming undone anytime soon, so we should be pretty a-okay with that. And so I'd say this was a complete success. Let me know in the comments below, guys, who you want me to make next. If you want me to go back to my Jumbo collection with good old Enderman and the skeleton, if you would like me to make something from the Minecraft realm, or go back to Poppy's Playtime, let me know in the comments below. And yes, I've seen a lot of comments saying you should go back to making the Cuphead characters. And you know what? I will very soon. Do not worry. I haven't forgot about them. Actually, I'll give a little update here on my life here. I work a job, you guys. YouTube's not my full job. I wish it was, but I don't make quite enough views to make this a full-time job. So, sadly, I can't. So, right now, YouTube is just a hobby for me. But does that mean I'm going to stop? No. I'm going to keep going until I can't. And so, hopefully, that will be for a very long time. Knocking on wood on that. So, I'm going to go, guys, get this video out for you so you all can see it today, because today is Sunday. And we can get this out so you guys can enjoy it throughout the week. Again, let me know what you're making in the comments below. And until then, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please do me a favor and keep it easy. It's Mac and Cheesy. See you guys, and have a great time.